Julie, we've been given the task of explaining the early phases of training and what those components of training might look like for a 10-month-old. And yet we realize training is something all of you have been doing since the early days when you initiated sleep training, blanket time training, and there was even some training involved in helping baby to learn to take a full feeding. But what makes training now at Micah's age so different?
Well, I can think of two things. First, in those early days and months, parents initiated training that worked with the child's biological and neurological abilities. Sleep training had to do with helping to stabilize his circadian clock. Blanket time was an effort to place in front of a child age-appropriate toys to help him focus, investigate objects, and manipulate them. But now, training involves a growing awareness that the child is able to respond to your training initiatives, and also is demonstrating the first signs of a self-will that's willing to ignore or even fight your training efforts. Take instruction, for example. As parents, we don't usually stop to think through the developmental and age-related aspects of our instruction. I know this is something I had to learn. When we give instructions to our children, it signals the child's readiness to understand and comply, or at least a readiness to begin absorbing impressions that our instructions represent. For example, I can instruct Anna, my 3-year-old, to go into the playroom and put her puzzles away. Anna is of the age that she can understand the meaning of my instructions and old enough to fully comply with them. But when you're working with a 10-month-old or a 12-month-old, instructions must be age-appropriate and understandable.
And understandable is the key. What can your 10-month-old or your 12-month-old truly understand when it comes to instruction?
When you have your first child, everything is new and exciting. And as a baby grows, so grows our understanding of his abilities and capacities. Julie and I have learned that even babies have a learning curve. And when they start to approach their first birthday, their understanding of basic concepts is rather remarkable. I was intrigued to read in the Babyhood Transitions book that babies Micah's age are in the process of passing through 3 levels of vocabulary comprehension and mastery. The first level is their understanding vocabulary. A baby understands the meaning of words long before he or she can verbalize them. For example, a 7-month-old will wave bye-bye or play patty cake when encouraged to do so. By a year, a baby has an enormous understanding of vocabulary words and demonstrates this by his responses to instructions such as blow kisses, hug your baby doll, wave bye-bye. Your child is responding with understanding, but he hasn't yet learned to speak the words he or she understands. Their next level of achievement is their speaking vocabulary, and this usually develops between 10 and 14 months of age. I have noticed that Micah will babble to a toy, a sibling, or even me. And although we may not understand what he is saying, his babbling means something to him. They are word thoughts coming out in scrambled speech, representing his attempt to communicate with language. Reading vocabulary is the third level of achievement. It begins after age 3, when a child starts to recognize and form letters and numbers and attempts to write or draw word pictures. But it all starts with their understanding vocabulary. Babies at Micah's age are like sponges. They are constantly absorbing what we say and understand more than we think.
We hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to see more, and check out the growingfamilies.life website to find more resources and to get connected.